Hi guys, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to shape and fill in your brows. I think bold brows are kind of always in. They're really in right now. Sorry, my cat knocked it over. And they're kind of difficult if you don't know what you're doing. It can be kind of intimidating going in, knowing what products to get, what to use them for, how to use them. So I'm going to try and help you. I have been on a long journey with my brows. I used to actually screenshot those pictures specifically for this video. Hold on, I'm just going to show you what things could have been. This is me as a child. Look at those beautiful brows. Look at those brows I could have had. But unfortunately, I was a preteen and a teen in the early 2000s when it was good to have, I don't know if anyone remembers this, the sperm eyebrows, or just like a tiny little line of eyebrow, or some of my friends even would like shave their eyebrows completely off and like draw them on, and these were like the cool girls. I was like, that is so cool that you shaved your whole eyebrow off and now you're gonna draw it back on. And I remember I like really wanted to, but I was like afraid to take the plunge. Thank God. Anyways, so now my eyebrows are, they're not what they could have been. They're not. And this one in particular, I have some issues with it. I was in a car accident when I was like, ooh, my whole boobs are showing. I was in a car accident when I was like 20, and I got a scar right here, and it just kind of like dented my eyebrow. I mean, for a while I didn't have an eyebrow at all, so I guess should be grateful I even have an eyebrow, but after surviving the early 2000s and the car accident that took my eyebrow, but it grew back, kind of like tick, 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 tick. So this one, I don't want to play favorites with my eyebrows, but this one just, it gives me a lot of guff. It does. I struggle to make it a good shape. So anyways, I'm going to show you guys what I do and how I shape my eyebrows and how I draw them in, and hopefully this will be helpful to someone. Okay, so first what I'm going to start with is some clear brow gel. I am going, sorry, that light is blinding. I am going to just use this to kind of go in and fluff my brows up and really just seal them into place, getting the most out of my natural shape. Because, I mean, ideally you want to use as much of your natural brow as you can. And this way you can kind of brush them up, make them look a little more full, and that way you can have that to work with instead of just drawing brows that completely aren't there, because that's gonna look a lot less natural, obviously, because it will be less natural. Okay, so I don't know if I said it, the Anastasia Beverly Hills clear brow gel is what I use for this. There's a lot of brow gels on the market. I really like Anastasia Beverly Hills for brows specifically. I don't have any of my products for my brows, so I'm gonna go get them. I will be right back. Okay, I'm sorry you guys, I am just a mess today. I tried to film this video in the morning, and I literally, nothing has ever been so hard in my life as putting on winged eyeliner was this morning. I just wanted to have the rest of the look done and show you guys the brows, and it just, I had just like a black eye. The eyeliner exploded on my hand because I accidentally like squeezed it when I was taking the lid off, and it was a Pat McGrath eyeliner, and I felt really sad that I hurt it, and I felt like there was like blood on my hand, like I had killed something. I was like, ah! And I don't know, and then I had to like take all my eye makeup off, and then I was like missing concealer here. It was, my cat, that's Gammy. It was a mess. It was a hot mess. And then I got in my car, and my car smelled like, it smelled like baby poop and like cat pee, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And then I found it was like this bag that I think I had my lunch. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going off on a complete tangent. So this is the Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit. don't know if you can see that. It's in shade 3. What we're going to use the brow pencil for is for any fine lines. So we're going to use it to create hair-like strokes here on the front part of the brow. You're going to want the front, like the inner parts of the brow, to be lighter than the arch, because the arch is just naturally darker in your natural eyebrow, and so we're going to want to mimic that when we're drawing our brows on. So just little tiny hair-like strokes. I just recently started using this Benefit pencil. I used to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pencil, because like I said, they're the brow people. They're the ones you want to go to. But Laura Lee talks about this a lot. It does have a very fine, you can see that, the tip is very small, so it's really easy to create like more natural, more like fine hair like strokes. Just, yep. And so we'll kind of use this to get like the base shape. And what you want to do as a guideline, you can take like anything that's a straight line, like an eyeliner pencil or whatever, but you're going to want your brow to start. You go from that nostril up to your brow, so this is where we want it to start. And then you want to go from your nostril to this side of your eye up to your brow. That's where we want the arch to be. And then from nostril past the corner of the eye out, that is where we're going to want the eyebrow to end. And you can even, I learned this from Candy Johnson, who is a wonderful makeup artist, and I've learned a lot of how to do my makeup from her. She's really good at explaining stuff. And when she does it, she actually goes in with a white pencil and like marks all those spots and then connects them how she wants her brow to look, and she uses that as a reference to tweeze them and draw them in, and I find that to be super helpful on days where I'm having a bad brow day. So for this one, I'm gonna kind of fill in, because I hate this eyebrow. I don't hate it. I don't hate either of my eyebrows, but I try to like soften that up a little and soften my arch so I don't look like the devil. I feel like I have kind of like devil eyebrows. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. So just tiny, tiny little hair-like strokes. We're gonna get that in and then define this little arch right here. You don't have to do this if you feel yours is already defined. And we're just gonna make it come out a little bit longer. Okay, so then what you're gonna do to blend that is you're gonna take the spoolie on the other end of your brow brush, hopefully, or you can buy them separately, and this is just kind of like a blending brush for the brows. So we're gonna blend it up front, because we really don't want this just like a lot of people draw this really stark like box for their eyebrows in the front, and I do not think anyone should do that. I do not think that looks very good. So I mean, unless you look really good with bold brows or you love bold brows, I don't. I have to be careful what I do with my brows, because I have very small eyes and my brows can easily overpower them. So a lot of the product is going to be along the top and the bottom where you've drawn those lines, so you kind of want to bring it up into the brow and just blend it throughout, just making sure that we're looking natural, no big like difference between brow and pencil, because I've definitely done my makeup and then I go out into the light and it's like, oh, there's my brow, boom, there's a pencil above it, and it's not what you want. You don't want people to say, that's a great line that you drew above your eyebrow. You want people to say, you have beautiful brows, and I don't even know that they're not real. So I don't know that anyone would explicitly say that to you, but that's what we want. Okay, so next step is I'm going to go in with a brow pomade. I used to not go in with the brow pomade. I didn't want too dark of brows. It scared me. I didn't want them to be like stuck together. I didn't know how to use a brow pomade, so I just stuck with the pencil, which is fine. If you are just kind of filling in blank spots and like smoothing out the edges, and like your brows are kind of the shape that you want them to be, you may not necessarily need pomade. for me, because I'm changing the shape of my brow here, like so much, I'm filling this in. Like I said, there's just that stark contrast between the brow and the pencil, and so what the pomade helps me to do is to kind of distribute the product more evenly throughout my brow and just to make them generally like bolder and cleaner looking. This is the Kat Von D 24 Hour Super Brow in light brown, and it is phenomenal. Yesterday was kind of like a first impressions for me of this product. It just came out like last weekend, I think, like very short time ago, and it is phenomenal. Did it last in my brows 24 hours? No. Are you wearing your brows for 24 hours? What are you doing that you need to wear your brows for 24 hours? I don't think you should do that. I think you should take a shower. I think you should go to sleep. I don't think anyone needs 24-hour eyebrow pomade. I'm just putting that out there. If you do, it won't totally last 24 hours. Yesterday I did my makeup about 8 a.m. I went to school starting at 10. I was at school until 10 o'clock at night, so for 12 hours. If anyone's doing the math, it was a very long day. And I just usually look like hit by the end of the day. Like I've been like stressed, touching my face and picking my pimples, and my hair is all crazy, and I work in a soil lab. I'm working with like crazy chemicals. I'm getting chemical burns on my face. I'm not. That's never happened, really, but it could. I'm saying it's a rough day. It was a rough day. And it wasn't like, this actually started out pretty dark. Like, I would say a little, I think I have a picture actually, a little darker than I would normally go for in a brow pomade, especially for a light brown. Like, I would say these shades run a little bit dark, because normally what I get is a shade light brown or something. See, that's like a little more dramatic than I would normally do my brow. I took a picture because I was sending it to a lot of people. I was like, does this look weird? Does this look okay? But it faded out throughout the day, which was kind of good. I kind of wanted it to fade a little, but at the end of the day, it didn't look like that, and it wasn't like crazy, but like, and my pencil had all worn off, but I could still, like, my eyebrows were a little darker, they were a little more shapely, like they looked good for the end of a 13-hour day at school. Like, so I'm for this stuff. I think it's great. I think Kat Von D does a really good job with products that like stay on a really long time and look good and are super bold, and this product is no exception. She also has this 75 brow brush. That's what the tip looks like. It has little chickies. And this it doesn't come with it, but it's meant to go with the pomade, and this also helps to create a natural looking brow. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of fill in here. I am going light because yesterday I got a little heavy-handed and my brows were a little more bold than I would prefer. So just gonna get this along. This is really meant to go more in the natural hair already, and then use a pencil for the more precise lines around the hair and doing the shaping. I wouldn't go too heavy in the front here because, like I said, you want your front to be a little lighter, a little more faded than the rest of your brow. So just gonna get that there, and I'm gonna do a little bit more with the pencil in the front of my brows because I still am having this brow. I swear to God, it takes a lot to get it looking normal, and I miss what it used to look like. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more there, a little bit more in the front, and kind of smooth out that arch a little. Okay. Alright, so as you see, we have it starting here, arching there, ending there, just symmetrically, all good. And that is what they say beauty is about, is symmetry. So then the last step, which I also do not have the product I need for this because I am a mess today, I will be back and I will get that. Okay, so the last step here is we are going to carve out the brow here with concealer. You can use liquid concealer if you want, like the Shape Tape. I find this a little more difficult to work with because it's messier, it's harder to contain. There's some great pencils, like Morphe has a good concealer pencil for under the eyebrow, so does Anastasia, Beverly Hills. Or you can use like this is the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. And this is the Morphe 429 brush. And this is kind of more just like a, I don't know what you would call it, a paint pot concealer, like a thicker concealer. So I'm just going to take the brush and I'm going to go along the bottom. And this will just really help to clean it up and give it that, like, finishing look. So, I also use this, I mean, my eyes are obviously already done, but I will use this to prime my whole eye, and my shadow stays on a lot longer because this stuff is thick and it is sticky, and it gives your eye kind of an all over, like, even lighter color to it, and I like that personally. This is also going to help kind of with highlighting. It's going to help your brow bone pop and give more dimension to your eyes. So you just want to go right under there. And sometimes, like, this edge I don't love that much, so I'll kind of go over it a little. And then you just smooth this down, blend it down into your eye a little more. And that's it. See how much more cleaned up that looks right there? Versus this, where it's just kind of like ying. And some people will also carve out on top of the brow, so I'll just do that now just to show you guys. I don't personally like to carve out on top of the brow. I don't like the shape of my brow that much on the top that I want to carve it out, but you can. It's an option. I would advise you away from using like a really bright pencil. Like some people will do this with like a white pencil, or Benefit has a highbrow pencil. It's like a very bright pink. I think that looks a little bit less natural than if you use like a concealer and it doesn't blend as well. So I would advise you to use like a skin tone a little bit lighter than your skin. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the other brow and I will come back and wrap this up. All right, bye-bye. All right, so that's it. Both brows are done. As you can see, there's a little bit lighter here. A little bit of the hair-like strokes kind of goes into a deeper gradient here and goes out, boop, just about to the peak of my wing. As you can see, this one was just a lot cleaner and easier because it's my better brow. But thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys learned something more about how to fill in and shape your eyebrows and just some tips and pointers. It was definitely trial and error for me for a while, and these are just a lot of the things that I've learned all summed up into one video. So I hope that that is helpful for you. If you guys like this video, please like it and subscribe down there at the bottom of the video. And that's all for me today. Alright, thanks guys. See you next time. Bye. I got into a fight with my winged eyeliner, and the eyeliner won. God damn it.